Hello, this is Reverend Twyla Reece, and I am coming to you from Unity of Merced in Merced, California. I am so happy to have you here with us. Whenever you may be watching this message, it's the Sunday after Christmas of 2020, and you may be watching this at who knows what day and what time and what year, but we are here right now in this moment. You can find us at unitymerced.org. You can find us, well, I always say that, but I realize you've already found us if you're watching this. So you may have found us on our website. You may have found us on YouTube and on Facebook. Regardless of where you have found us, I am so happy that you have. And I am here with Ed Venice. Ed is the music director for Unity and Merced. Say hi, Ed.
Hello, hi Ed.
Oh, he and I were just having a great conversation, just kind of talking over the world and ourselves and finding that authenticity within ourselves. So we come together today, having celebrated Christmas before we celebrate the new year, and coming to this sweet, precious, holy moment. I like to call this time between Christmas and New Year's the holy pause, to just take time to be still. So before we go any further, I want to read to you the Daily Word message from Unity's Daily Word magazine for Sunday, December 27th. And the word is release. I take the best and leave the rest. My experiences of this past year have brought me gifts of insight, new perspectives, many chances to grow and stretch myself, and perhaps the opportunity to develop a skill that serves me in my life. Some experiences have been painful or difficult. These too have offered their gifts. I accept all that has come my way. With gratitude, I bless it all. I find the gifts and release what no longer serves my growth. Assured that God is my dependable source, I release any pain of a financial setback. In the joy of restored health, I release any memory of illness. Grateful for all modes of connection, I release any pain of loneliness. I move forward feeling lighter, cleansed, and renewed for my journey forward. And the scripture is, do not remember the former things or consider the things of old. Isaiah 43, verse 18. Release. And we are in that sweet space of surrender. Even though we live moment to moment, breath to breath, there is still that element of passing from the old into the new. And for that, we are grateful. And with that, Ed, will you sing us your first song?
I will. This is a song I wrote a couple years ago, and I wasn't really happy with it. And then I asked with my friend Daniel Namod some suggestions on how to rewrite it, and he pointed me in a new direction, and so I'm happy with the song now. It's called "Remind Me." You made me perfect, but I think I'm flawed, 'cause I've forgotten where I came from. My eyes are open, but I can't see. Remind me. You made the oceans, the mountains so high. You gave me talents words unspoken remind me till I know the truth about your love, till I see all I can be, till the time has come when I know we are one. Lord, keep remind me.
Thank you, Ed. We are not broken. We are perfect and whole exactly as we are. So I want to begin. I'm going to switch this over here, Ed, to speaker view, just so you know. So everyone, merry a few days after Christmas. Merry a few days after Christmas. How are you doing? How are you doing? How's life? Are you feeling at peace? Are you feeling fulfilled? Are you feeling that there is something lacking? That there is something that you are missing? Are you full of joy, or are you just quietly passing the time? There are so many different ways that you can be. But as Ed just said, you are not broken. You are perfect and whole and complete, exactly as you are. Are there things that you want to do differently? Are there ways that you want to be that you're not necessarily expressing? All of that can be corrected. All of that can shift and change. Or it can be simply as it is. I want to talk today about the holy pause, about this auspicious moment in time between Christmas Day and New Year's Day. We have this week that offers us a unique and a time that is full of possibilities. It's a time where you can get back into the busyness of your life, or a time that you can become more still and maybe a little more reflective about all the things that Ed just sang to us about in his song, about all of the questions that I just placed before you at the beginning of this talk. But it's an auspicious moment, a time where we can pay attention, a time where we can look back at what it is that we have received, of who it is that we are, a time of giving thanks, a time of being quiet. Whatever it is that you choose to do and be. I always like this story. Many of you have heard it. But it was the day after Christmas at a church. And the minister went over to the church. He was inside the sanctuary, and he walked by the nativity scene, and he noticed that baby Jesus was missing. Baby Jesus had gone somewhere. He was not in the manger where he belonged. He looked around the church and he couldn't see the baby Jesus, and for some reason he stepped outside the church, and there he saw a little boy with a red wagon, and he had the baby Jesus in the wagon. And so the minister asked him, he walked up to him, and he said, "Hey, where did you get your passenger?" And the little boy said, "I got him at church." And the minister said, "Well, that's pretty cool. Why did you take him from the church? And the little boy said, well, about a week before Christmas, I prayed to the little Lord Jesus, and I told him if he would bring me a red wagon for Christmas, I would take him for a ride. I love this story. I love this story of a young child's innocence, of knowing the all possibility, of being in a place of gratitude and being in a place of joy, that the day after Christmas, he would come back to the church and he would find the baby Jesus and he would take him for a ride. So we have just gone through this journey of Advent, of the 4 Sundays before Christmas, where we celebrate faith and hope and peace and love and joy, where we celebrate and where we remember that the Christmas story is our story, and that the birth of the Christ child is about the birth of the Christ within each and every one of us. It is our story that is so personal, that it is so sweet, that we can remember that the same divinity that was within Jesus is the divinity that is within us. This child may not have understood that part of the Christmas story, but he knew enough to come back to the Christ child to say, thank you, and here, let me take you for a ride. In this time, in this week between Christmas and New Year's, is a time for us to become more integrated and to become more clear in understanding that the birth of the Christ child is about the birth of divinity within us. And to remember that it is not just a birth of one day, but it is a birth of every day, of every moment, that we remember to remember who we are, that we are one with God. I am reminded of the Psalm from chapter 46, verse 10. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that you are the divinity of the Christ consciousness, that you are the divinity of the one and only presence of divine good in the world. The Christmas story does not end with Christmas. It continues in each moment, with each breath. But it is up to us to remember, to express that joy. Barbara Marx Hubbard, in her one of her books, where she talks about the 52 codes that she was given, the 52nd code, which is obviously the last code of the year, 52 weeks, she said, keep your attention on your universal self. Create an aura of silence around you. Let your self-conscious mind be completely absorbed in your God-conscious mind. Isn't that beautiful? Keep your attention of your universal self. Create an aura of silence around you. Create an aura of holiness around you. Now, you can have that aura of silence and that aura of creativity around you and still be celebrating out loud. One does not counteract the other. You can be both mindful and joyfully loud all at the same time. Does that sound a little funny to some of you? Try it out, practice it. Stay in that moment of the attention on your universal self, which is your God self. So, many of us during this week between Christmas and New Year's, we like to take down all the decorations. We like to take all the lights off the outside of the house. Have you noticed all of the beautiful Christmas lights? I love driving around town and seeing all of the lights. And most of those homes will have those lights. If they're not taken down off the house, they very likely will not be turned on in the evening because Christmas is over, right? Is it time for you to take down your tree? I myself like to have all of my Christmas decorations down on Christmas, not Christmas Eve, but New Year's Eve. I like to start the new year with a clean house and with the decorations put up or put away. And yet I know other people that continue to leave their decorations up for several more days or even weeks to celebrate the ongoing of Christmas and the Christmas story. Epiphany is on January 6th. There's no need to hurry. There's no need to rush. There's no wrong way. There's no right way. But what I do want to impress on you is as you are undecorating from the holiday season, that you don't undecorate your own knowing. Just because Christmas is over, that doesn't mean that we get to forget who we are between Christmas and Easter. Oh my, somebody's walking by my house. If you hear my dog, she was so quiet. But you know, those holy days between Christmas and Easter, we don't have to just show up for those holidays, for those days. If we're paying attention, we keep that Christ presence alive oh my goodness, each and every day. Excuse me, I'll be right back. Bella, 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 here, baby. Somebody outside. And this seems to happen mostly when you and I are doing the program together. There's somebody outside. Say hi to everybody. So what I was saying was to not just allow your Christ consciousness to be awakened on the holidays, on the holy days, because every day is a holy day. And we get to have the opportunity this week to remember, to really remember, and to take time and be still and to know. So I want to share with you another story, and it's told by Anthony DeMello. And he tells this story about a man alone in a desert. And he lost his way in the desert, and he was despaired of ever finding water as he was walking through the desert. He struggled up one hilltop and then to another in the hope of finding a stream. He kept looking in every direction. And then, as he was staggering through the desert, his foot caught on a rock and he fell. He stumbled and he fell. And he laid there in desperation. But in that desperation, when he was so thirsty and he was so out of energy, he was able to find a silence. He was able to find a surrender, a place. He wasn't necessarily saying, okay, my life is over. Just, oh, I need to take a moment and be still. And in that stillness, he heard a sound. And as he listened in the quiet, he realized that it was running water, and he was able to get up and move forward and follow the sound of the living water. He found his answer. He found his survival. He found his way by deeply listening, of taking the time to be still, and as Psalms 46:10 says, and know that I am God. So I wish you this week a holy week of reflection. Take time and truly be with yourself and celebrate yourself and give yourself the gift of you. And so it is. And Ed, would you please sing us your next song?
As we approach New Year's, um, we all sometimes have a New Year's resolution, and we try to think of how we can maybe be a better person or be a person. Being better is okay, but I think it's always good to remember that we're celebrate who we are, and like Twyla said earlier, we're made perfect. We're trying to remember that perfection, and so this is a Harold Payne song. I think that for me sets the tone for New Year's. So many choices, so little time, so many mountains left to climb. But I know that it gets clearer as I get nearer to where I'm meant to be. I can't be anybody but myself, 'cause everybody else is already taken. I got to follow my own road. God only knows where I'm going. Everybody trying to fit in. Got to feel good in my own skin. Gonna use my imagination for inspiration every chance I get. I can't be anybody but myself, and everybody else is already taken. I got to follow my own road. God only knows where I'm going. I'm trusting my instincts, keeping me in sync with my head and my heart, my soul. I can't be anybody but myself, and everybody else is already taken. I got to follow my own road. God only knows where I'm going. I can't be anybody but myself, 'cause everybody else is already taken. I got to follow my own road, and God only knows where I'm going. Got to follow my own road, God only knows where I'm going.
Follow my own road. God only knows. God only knows. Oh, thank you, Ed. Thank you. And to each of you, have a beautiful Holy Week, precious and rich. Your week, not anybody else's week, but your week. And so we go out knowing that the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, The power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is truly love. And we will see you soon. Bye for now.